Hi guys, it's Steph. Welcome back to my channel. I know I made a video about misgendering about a year or two ago, and you'd think that would be all I had to say on the matter, but the thing that frustrates me the most is people's justifications behind it. And recently I've just been struggling with it because I'm getting to a stage where I'd like to think that I'm passing a bit better, but I'm still getting misgendered, and I'm really confused as to why. I'm gonna start this video by saying, obviously, there are no requirements for any person of any gender to look a certain way. This isn't me telling anyone how they should look or dress. I'm 100% here for not assuming people's genders regardless of if they look binary or not. But the thing that just has been baffling me lately is there's this whole idea, and it's mainly cis people that enforce this idea, that I'm gonna call you whatever gender I think you are until you pass. I've been told a lot in the past, you can't be mad if people misgender you because for now you look like a girl or you sound like a girl, which first of all are horrible things to say to people. Please stop saying this to your trans family members and friends. That's not a nice thing to hear, because if we said that to a cis person, they'd get really fucking mad. First of all, stop telling us that we look or sound or act like our assigned gender. Spoiler alert, we know that already. That's part of what ties into the dysphoria side of things. But the thing that I just don't get is, with all of these stereotypes that people rely on, how is it then that I am presenting in the way that is most comfortable to me, which just happens to be quite masculine? I'm constantly in boy clothes. I have facial hair. Well, I don't right now because I shaved the other day. I'm putting all of these things out into the universe, which isn't me trying to be male, trying to be a boy. This is just how I'm comfortable, but it just so happens that the way I'm comfortable fits in with quite typical binary masculine things. And yet people still want to get fixated on tiny little things that they think they can see about me and then misgender me. I just don't get what in a person's mind when I meet them says, yes, this person is female, I will call them she. I have no issue with people using gender neutral pronouns with me until they know my gender. That does not bother me at all. But she is a big fucking leap. I feel like I put out very masculine vibes. At the end of the day, like, I'm a dude. I'm a very binary dude. I'm right down the end. It just baffles me that people still look at me and think, yep, that's a female. Where? And the thing is, when someone does misgender me, normally if it's a stranger, but it does happen with family sometimes as well, or even with friends, I can move on from it most of the time. It stings for a minute, but I can just move on with my day, especially if there are people around that are then gonna gender me correctly for the rest of the day. That always helps. The thing that bothers me is this same narrative I keep hearing, again from cis people, because no trans person has really said this to me, this whole thing they have of don't get angry and don't let it get to you. Well, that's easy enough for you to say because you don't understand how it feels to have somebody completely invalidate who you are and say something that's very upsetting and potentially quite triggering. It's very easy for you to say that because you've not experienced this, you don't know what it feels like. I guarantee you though, if I started misgendering all the cis people in my life constantly, it'd be all like, why are you misgendering me? Why are you calling me the wrong gender? That hurts, stop doing that. I guarantee you they'd react like that after an hour. So imagine what years of that is like, and then you have the gall to say to me, don't get upset. I can choose not to react. I can choose not to internalize it too much. And if possible, I can choose to, you know, breathe and have a moment and then let it go. You can't just expect me to not get angry at all. It's like giving someone with a peanut allergy a peanut and saying to them, don't have an allergic reaction to the peanut. If someone was to punch you and say, I'm gonna punch you, but don't react to the pain, it's gonna hurt and you're gonna react. It's what you do after that that matters. I've never once in my life struck out at a person, physically or verbally. I've never once made anyone feel bad for misgendering me. If anything, me and all the trans people I know are very gracious about it. I actually am still not even comfortable correcting people, and I've been out for almost 2 years. Most of the time, I actually just let it slide. I don't say anything. And it just annoys me that there are cis people that say, yeah, but you shouldn't let it get to you or you shouldn't react. No, I'm very much allowed to react. I'm allowed to be mad. This is a very important part of my life, and the same for a lot of trans people. It's a big deal. I'm not taking tea for fun, I'm taking it so I can feel more like myself and become physically more the person I want to be, but also so that people gender me correctly. Again, this isn't me saying that any of the traits I've mentioned, like short hair or facial hair or deep voices, make someone a man. But for me, that's what makes me a man. That's part of me as a guy. So it just stresses me out that random people pick up on like one arbitrary trait and they just decide, I can gender you myself, I can just call you a girl. I know cis people don't have it in their heads to ask, but please try and get used to it. Just ask. I will not get offended if you say to me, what are your pronouns or how do you identify, because I don't want to get it wrong. Honestly, I don't even know quite what the point of this video is. I don't really know what it's for. I don't really know who it's for. I'm hoping that people might be able to get some sort of comfort from it. Maybe people can relate to what I'm talking about. Maybe even show this to anyone in your life who might not understand the complexities of misgendering and why it sucks. The whole idea of being misgendered and having other people invalidate your identity is kind of swept under the rug, but that matters. It's very important, and I think it needs to be talked about more because people still don't understand the severity of it. This is why some trans people have terrible mental health, because their identities are not validated, they're not acknowledged, and the people around them think, doesn't matter that much, they'll get over it, it's not that deep, don't get upset. No, it is that deep, and this is why trans kids feel alone and abandoned, and that's why they do terrible things to themselves sometimes, because they feel like there's no way out, because they feel like no one's going to ever respect them, so what's the point? Didn't realize this video was going to get so deep, but I'm just saying, please have some consideration before you do the whole this is hard for me thing. Stop for a second and just think about, first of all, how that sounds to the trans person, because it makes it sound like they're a burden on you for being themselves. And also just take a minute to think, wow, if this is stressful for me and all I'm doing is adjusting to someone having a new name and pronouns and maybe looking a bit different, how does it feel for that person who has all of these new things and also has to deal with the outside world being really shit sometimes? Just think about that. I think my main point of this video is just to be a bit more thoughtful, be considerate, be compassionate. The trans community has enough to deal with in terms of people trying to get laws against us and trying to ban us from things and literally trying to murder and hurt us any chance they get, especially black trans women. So please just have some consideration, just try. I'm not expecting everyone to get it right in 5 seconds. There are still people in my life that mess up. We just want some effort and just respect and common decency, because at the end of the day, we're just living our lives just like you. Ours are just a little bit different and they involve a few more trips to the doctors. Let me know if you've connected with anything I've said in this video, or if you're going to show it to someone, if you think it might help them understand the trans community a bit better and why misgendering is a thing that needs to be tackled a bit more. My social media links are all down in the description, so you can like DM me or tweet me or something and we can have a chat if you want. Hope you guys are having a good day, evening, night, wherever you are, and I'll see you soon. Bye.